So a lot of times there'll be a lot of like other agencies or teams that will say like they organize it based off of concepts or avatars.
Mhm.
What is the difference of that versus pillars?
Yep. I actually had this conversation earlier with this company, Locale, from after moving into their first stage of Tofu Mofu Bofu. And we did this. So this was week 2, kind of like the last, I guess I would say like we only been running for about 7 days kind of thing. And we're still increasing our ad spend a bit. This one we kind of plateau at now $25,000 every like 3 days. And so it's a fairly sizable ad spend, but because it just ramped up and then plateaued in spend, I want to see what was happening with the cost per result. And our goal is to get into 250. And we actually got under 250 in this new campaign, the John campaign, compared to the other campaign. They were only spending 6, can't go below 250. I'm spending 16 and I got below 250. This is Los Angeles and Orange County. This is just San Francisco. So
Gotcha.
this campaign
This
has
is the food brand, I assume.
yeah. So in the campaign
Okay.
that has half the population density, I'm still able to spend triple and get a better CPA inside the platform. And
Wow.
he's like, and he goes, I don't know NCAC metrics. I don't know anything. He goes, usually when that's around 250, my business is doing really good. And I said, sounds good to me. That's what it'll be. We're basically
Makes
just
sense.
benchmarking at this point. So we said, okie dokie, we'll get there. So this, over the weekend, we're able to see the, CPA drop even lower because people are more active on the weekends, and we saw 50% more purchases. Now, this was still tofu, mofu, bofu, though. And we're still getting 120% more tofu, 25% more mofu, and 35% more bofu. Like they're still funneling through well. 260, 229, 266. Really great CPA. Now, he says, it doesn't look like you're doing a lot of avatar, though. He goes, I have creative agencies saying, who's your avatar? Who's your avatar? And I said, well, who likes fresh food?
Yeah.
He just kind of laughs. He goes, yeah, okay. I'm like, I'm not going to discriminate grandma because she likes fresh food. And I don't discriminate against a 19-year-old kid who's going to the gym for the first time because he likes fresh food. I said, I do not care.
Yeah, it's
You
more
like
who
fresh.
who you are versus, well, it's more about what your driver is. Anyone can have that driver versus like a commonality between a lot of people with the driver.
Right. And let me know if if I start to get choppy again as I turn my camera on. But that's kind of what we're looking at is we wanted to see, okay, well, if we're going to go through, these ads, let's go through the weekend. And I'm not even going to select a comparison. I'm just going to do the results descending. There we go. And this is because we're still in the tofu mofu mofu. This is just a mofu. We do have ad spend in the mofu. That's 144-292-235-98, $5. And I said, this is what we're going to have to focus on. I said, it's not about avatar creation. It's not about avatar development. People like fresh food. You deliver fresh food. Grandma and an 18-year-old kid are both going to look and say, does it smell in there? Like if you open the jar, what does it smell like? What does it look like? What does it sound like? Is there dirt in there? Like what is in the jar?
Very primal.
Exactly. And I thought about
Yeah.
like if we have 3 main things that we're kind of focusing on for this client that you'd have to focus on for any client with food, fragrances, because you can't smell it, deodorants, perfumes, you can't experience it digitally. It's impossible. I can't smell perfume digitally. Not going to happen. I can't taste Locale's food digitally. It's never going to happen. But if I cover these 3 bases, where does it come from? Comes from this area. It's got this testing on it. It goes through these lab results. This is the results. This is compared to everybody else's results. Okay. And then they say, well, how is the packaging sent to me and what does it look like? Well, it's in a glass jar. There's no microplastics. We do not add any spices. So that is customized to your liking. We do not use this. We do use that. We do this. Talk about all the products and say, okay, I'm like, good. So now I know where it comes from and now you know what it is. Do you want it? I'm like, well, what does it taste like? That's the next thing. I'm going to eat this. So that's my last question
Yeah,
I
a
have is,
trial
exactly. So
mechanism.
does
Yeah.
it pop when I open the jar? Does it go? Is it vacuum sealed? It's in a mason jar. Mason jars are made to be vacuum sealed. I have no idea. So I asked him. And so he's like, yes, it is. So that's something that we're going to want to put like the pop. You could do an intro of pop, 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 pop. And now you've kind of, okay, what's popping? I'm hooked. And now we can see what it is. When you pop it, once you pop the fun, don't stop. You get sued by Pringles. But that's what I was saying is now we have to, that's the last thing that we sort of have to focus on. It's not avatar development. We've already talked about everything that's good accolades, but there is no avatar that hates fresh food. I'm sorry. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
So I always disagree with the avatar. Who are you talking to? It's like, how are you going to know that?
Yeah. You'd
Like,
have to well, it'd have to be something that's so like a very niche product. And I feel like, and this is actually in the group right now that I'm filming, or I already filmed for the creative section, but it's avatars. A lot of times people use avatars to kind of guide their entire company when it's more so just a tool to use for what people's desires are, is kind of how I view it. Like, what does John want with fresh food? Okay, what are some of his desires? And then those desires could be the same as my desires for fresh food, but you're using the concept of an avatar to build out those desires, or the concepts, I guess you could say, in order to explain or find more things about the product. And then you could potentially build out an avatar from like your reviews to get more finite on what the concept is going to be, but you can't pigeonhole yourself to that one avatar kind of thing.
Right. Hey, if you like this video, we have a school community where we have a few hundred members and we cover topics, everything from the basics to all the way to the like hyper crazy advanced stuff that's like coming out next month. So a few hundred members there. We go live twice a week, something with an hour-long education about something that is very relevant to the community that week, plus a weekly Q&A where you just get to come and bring us all of your problems and we solve them one at a time.
So I have a link below in the description if you want to join. And then obviously if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and we can answer those for you. And we'll see you in there.
Pigeonholing yourself to an avatar is very dangerous because if you're wrong, everything you've done up to that point, including all the ads you created, are not going to work.
Yeah.
The thing that I always kind of look at here is this is a good way to, well, yeah, let's go kill that. This is a good way to kind of gauge your judgment of avatar. Yes, avatar is a thing. However, what is, if I say the words Facebook is something media, what would you say Facebook is? What kind of media? Is it traditional media? Is it
social media?
Social media. There you go. Social media. So if you, you know what's funny? Let's do this.
So right now we're pretty much describing pillars in a way. So they're not avatars. They're, you would say then, more desires or concepts.
If I'm on social media and there's an ad that comes out that says, hey, here's the 4 careers that you can get without a college degree, and I get 6,500 people that click it, but 2,600 people sent it to their closest friends, what avatar did I hit?
That'd be someone that's not in college, doesn't want to go to college.
I'm saying the person that shared it, who were they? Yeah,
it could be anyone. But it's speaking to the people that you want, but the people that saw it would be, like a mom or a dad or a friend or a cousin or an aunt or an uncle or a grandma. It could be anyone.
Yep. And if I hit if right now I have more than 12% of the people sharing all my ads. 12% of all my ads are shared compared to the clicks. Yep. So when 12% of all my ads are shared compared to the link clicks, now would I look at this and say, okay, let's look at the charts of what has the most amount of post shares? This one here, I can already tell you it's this here. Grandma shares it like crazy. Now it's not exactly my avatar. Can grandma go to school for less than 6 months or less than 6 months and 2K? Of course. But that's not where I want to have the majority of my spend. Now, it just so happens to be one of the largest activity person on Facebook, which is why Andromeda targets them so much, because they always like comment. I mean, they do, grandma, if you like this stuff, you have to click like and you'll see more of it in your feed. Thanks, honey. So they're fucking liking everything. And so they are always an active group. But these people, I guarantee, are sharing the shit out of mine to all their grandkids that are between the ages of 25 and 34. And that's happening 12% of the time. That expansion from trusted grandma is way better than ad from random unknown company. Yeah. If grandma's like, hey, Caden, can you go and check out this company and tell me what you think? Okay, grandma. But if you see an ad, you're like, you have to give it some thought. I don't know. So being that social media avatar development kind of goes a little bit more blended, in my opinion. So focusing on who you are allows for people that don't need you to send it to people who need you, and the people that need you are going to engage.
Makes sense. I'm going to push back a little bit because so if you were to say that there's grandma, let's say, on the platform, and grandma's like, okay, when I think of Jimmy is this kind of person. When grandma sees an avatar that's like Jimmy, grandma will then send that ad to Jimmy.
Exactly.
But I think so. I think that
Now, what happens when Jimmy starts to engage with the ad?
well, then
Does it find more Jimmys?
it depends. It really just depends on that. But I guess my point is that avatars could still, like you still would target the user based off the avatar. It's just the way that you get to that user would vary based off of the platform.
Right.
But
And
but
especially
that's
instead of,
also. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, especially instead of Meta is only going to keep re-engaging people who are engaging with the ad. So
Yeah.
I would have to ask is like, let me ask you a question. What did you do accidentally or even purposely that caused the wrong avatar to love your ad? I would love for anybody to answer that question.
I mean, the sales thing, I guess, would be probably the biggest, most obvious
So
one that most
people
are
that hate
getting.
you spent ungodly amounts with you.
Well, I meant more so like the sale, meaning going after people that are more price conscious versus like more long term, people that would be good for your company for like LTV reasons.
You'd pass by them, right? They would not engage with your ad.
Correct.
So I'm saying, how did you engage with the ad of people that hate you?
Well, that would be well, they wouldn't hate me. That's the whole thing. They would be someone that would just take the opportunity in this example of like a discount to say, okay, I want to try this product. But yeah, no, you're right. There wouldn't be anyone that would necessarily hate you for, they would be your wrong avatar based on just what you're saying.
Yeah, like wrong avatar means like these people are gonna hate it. They're gonna hate us. They're gonna hate us. Hate us. Hate our service.
Yeah.
They do not like it. Like if I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm not gonna run, vegan ads to all of the farmers in Texas. Probably not a good idea. They're gonna hate that. That's the wrong avatar. Now if I run vegan ads in Texas and vegans interact with the ad, it's not the wrong avatar.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is because the ads are only going to be continuously means something that you can actually physically measure, like 2 or 3 or 4 frequency. On that, you really can't get a 2, 3, 4 frequency on the wrong person because they're like, oh God, here's this ad again. Better watch it into its completion, like, comment, share, and then click on the button. Oh God, I have to do this again. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm wondering is like the high ad spend and high frequency, if it's not working, I wouldn't say it's the avatar. You might have a very entertaining ad that sucks.
Yeah, no, true.
The avatar. Yeah.
True. I guess I would just mainly say like more on the positive side versus the negative side of you'd get that extra 10% or 20%, whatever it is, if the avatar matched what grandma viewed as Jimmy kind of thing. Right. Because it's more relatable. But I don't think that you would have any negative engagement from that because Andromeda is not, or Gem is not necessarily going to push that based on your pixel data. So I would say that people that rely so heavily on avatars are missing. I still think it moves over to concepts more so, or I guess you could say angle.
Yeah.
Versus the actual avatar.
What was it called? The Orwellian or Orwellian window? I forget what it is called. But there's a saying that you basically have to like look at from a different angle. The angle that we might have to look at it from, which is rather than avatar development from a system of targeting females 18 to 30, brunettes that have hair that are alive on Tuesday, that like hair stuff, that you had to basically pick who you're going to manually set up the targeting for. Now that that's gone, the question isn't who is your avatar. The question is, what is it what are you portraying about you that the majority of people would like?
Yeah.
And that's where I would say avatar is kind of dead and gone. You couldn't even choose the avatar if you want to. You can suggest an avatar, but you have to say not. If I said, "Oh, this would be a great, perfect example." There's no trick questions in here. I'm just going to do an extra question. So let's role play for a second. Caden's going to be doing avatar development, and we have, a running shoe. Okay, so we have a running shoe, and it's men and female, and it's a cross trainer, so you can do track or you do dirt. Who would you want to? Again, not a trick question. Who would your avatar be?
I'd just say athletic people to start.
Yeah, runners, people that go to the gym, healthy eaters, health conscious, people that like, those type of things. You're like, okay, visited, Lance Armstrong's website because they want to be a runner now. You could do that. And then I said, okay, now we've identified that. Now, why?
Well, it have to be well, it depends. So number one, if it's a new company, then you kind of just shooting in the dark based on just what you find about other brands that are successful, like what you think their avatar is,
But
which is
why
kind of like
runners?
an art form.
Why runners?
Because
Why
I would
runners?
assume that they use the shoes the most.
Why?
Just because, well, number one, it depends on the type of shoe. But if I were to think like just a standard, like who cares a lot about shoes, probably runners because they're running on, their feet the whole, like they're moving, their main focus, all their gear, not all their gear, but the majority of your gear is focused on like the shoe. Versus
So
like
they
someone
would.
that's playing another sport, they're not as concerned about the shoe. They might be more concerned about like the racket or more concerned about like, I don't know, their socks. I don't know, some other type of thing.
But why would what would cause a runner to say, "Ooh, that shoe"?
Yeah, it would be the concept of like comfort, let's say. Or
Hey, it's
yeah.
not comfortable to run in cowboy boots.
Yeah.
All right. So comfort, that's a pillar. What else?
Yeah, I mean, it could be like the durability, it could be waterproof, it could be the overall weight, it could be, maybe it supports some
Weather
kind of,
resistant, lightweight,
yeah,
durable where for stress testing and comfort. You got 4 pillars right now.
yeah, and it's all
And
around
let's pause there.
concepts.
Let's pause here. You have 4 pillars that your avatar would like. So you didn't define your avatar. You defined what a avatar would want.
Correct.
So it's not avatar development, like you said. It's what their really desires are.
Well, yeah, desires
And
is the be all end all.
and you walked right through it. As soon as I said, okay, that's the avatar. Why? Well, because running in cowboy boots and barefoot sucks. So you want something comfortable. You want something long lasting. You want something that can
Right.
do multi-purpose. With a cross trainer, you want to do it on dirt, on track, in a marathon. You want to do short sprints, and you also want to do long treads. So then you want to have something that has some stipends so that it's all weather. You said waterproof. You want to have it in multiple different colors, multiple different sizes. You want to have wide toe for wide feet. Arch support for running, like that's gonna be important. What does the insole look like? How, you already said lightweight. That's perfect. Those are 10, 15 content pillars. And now a runner is going to come by and see the ads and be like, wow, I like everything about this running shoe because I'm a runner and this is what I care about.